Yeah, we were eight-handed for a very long time. This felt I think I was in an autopilot mode
Yeah.
and I folded this and I was like, I didn't even think about it and I was like, I probably should have thought about this a bit, but
Yeah, this is a
yeah,
clear defend.
yeah,
Especially against a
yeah.
tight range, it's still a hand that can crack really good hands. He's not
Mhm.
opening too many jacks. So the thing is also against very tight ranges, he still has all the ace kings, ace queens. Of course, he has king queen, but he's not opening in comparison to cash games or to chippy V. He's not opening jack 10 off and queen jack off. So actually, you have less hands you dominated against. So I actually don't mind the defend. Of course, on the other side, he's not having 7-8. Well, actually, I see people opening these pseudo connectors still quite often. But he's for sure not opening queen jack off, jack 10 off. He might even not opening king jack off. So I think it's a hand we still want to call here and take a flop.
Yeah, I think I remember in like real time, like I was looking at my Twitch for something and I just clicked fold because I was in this momentum of just like nonstop folding. And
Yeah,
then I was just like, wait, what the fuck? And
yeah,
then this is a fun one.
yeah. I like the bet. I think we should always second barrel the turn here.
Hmm.
He will have some hands like Jack 8 with in spades, King 9 that is floating with, of course, any 3x, 10x, and I think we just generate so much forward equity. And with the equity we have, yeah, very nice bet.
This was an interesting spot for this river.
Yeah, very nice river.
I
Sizing,
really,
yeah.
at this point, I'm still unsure about the sizing. I know when I picked in real time, and like, I mean, I don't know how many ace X that we'll have that will triple barrel here because I don't think we have ace three or ace six, and I mean we have like ace ten. Nah, I don't know if we double barrel ace ten. So, but like, I mean, maybe we'd have ace jack or ace king here, but I feel like my play so far would indicate that I might check back that maybe not ace king, but maybe ace jack. I kind of felt like going smaller because I didn't think I didn't I well yeah I actually I just I have no idea how to rationalize any sort of this I'm just completely clueless with. I'm just gonna
Okay.
be honest.
This is a spot where we should certainly second barrel some nut flush draws.
Yeah.
We make a fold 10x. We just have insane amount of equity against this range. He might be calling weaker flush draws with, especially if he has like king 9 in diamonds, or if you have jack 8 in diamonds, or if he has 8-7 in diamonds, or 8-9 in diamonds. Are we just going to push the equity edge so much in case we hit our diamond, we can play a massive pot. And we put
Hmm.
ourselves in a cooler position that, of course, will not happen, but 10-20% of the time, where we hit our flush, we can play a massive pot. I don't think he will check shove that much often or check raise. So I don't expect so many jams from him. And especially with ace jack, ace king, let's say he raises to 3 million or 3.5 million, we can still call and play a river. So far, really well played. On the river, though, I wouldn't bet too big, so I wouldn't go like pot or 3 million. I would just probably bet 2 million,
Hmm.
because besides, yeah, I mean, we have the jack nines, but this also, yeah, allows us to, value bet a hand like ace jack, or if you have ace 9 in diamonds. So I would be betting 2 million. We have all king jacks. We have pocket queens, pocket tens, pocket threes. We have queen tens. So yeah, I think 2 million.
Yeah, I think I went one.
Yeah, this is a little. This is, I think, just you get too often called from queen just by putting 1 million on top and making him fold, especially if he has a hand like queen jack, jack and diamonds. He has some queen x hands, just hands that have to fold, like just natural
Yeah.
folds. Queen 9, 9 in diamonds. So, but now you just give him too good price. And also the way you've been playing so far, your image, he might be make a hero fold with queen jack and spades.
Yeah.
But this is just too small. Well, okay, against this end.
Yeah, I guess we got lucky that I played
Yeah.
it poorly because we saved chips, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like the larger.
But other than that, I think you played it very well. I think the 1 million bet isn't that bad either because you're basically making him fold all the king high flush draws, the splits, 9-8 diamonds, 9-7 diamonds, Jack 9 diamonds. So it's not that
Maybe
bad
like
either.
10x.
It's
You think?
I think 10x very
sometimes
often already starts folding the turn. No, I don't hate this bet. I just think it's a tiny bit better. I'm very cherry picking here.
Okay.
I think it's very well played. Definitely love the river bet though, and a mandatory bluff we have to make here. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I know what I do in real time, and I feel like I don't know. So I feel like at this point, like 3-bet calling feels like an ICM disaster.
Why?
With this, because we've got a 9 big blind stack, a 7 big blind stack, and like everyone else is just pretty short. I don't know. I just didn't like the idea of, and I didn't feel like we'd have. I don't know if I would ever be 3-bet bluffing in the spot versus his opens.
You should.
With the stack, yeah, with the stack that I'm at. So I don't know. I in real time I kind of felt like just 3-bet shoving and sighing, but
yeah, I think
maybe
I think you
normally
just
is probably
generate way too much fold equity. Of course, if you have previously also played a little aggressive, maybe here and there mixing in a bluff 3-bet or bluff check raise, he will then, if he has 9s, he'll like, what the fuck, this guy's messing around. We have 25 bigs, I just 4-bet jam. If he has, I don't know, ace jack suited, if he has pocket 7s, but I think now with all the stack size, he might even be raise folding a hand like 7s or 8s. I don't think he's raise calling 7s or 8s here, to be honest. So with queens, of course, I don't think you're going to induce that much the way you've played so far. But even though with your tight image, I would have still 3-bet. If the guy has ace jacks or ace 10 suited, it's definitely also nice to fold out that ton of equity, but he's on the other hand, he could pair with jack 10 suited, he could pair with 8s, 9s, and just keep his range wide. And most of the time, the hands that are calling with are 3-outers anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Ace king is stacking off, king's aces is stacking off. Of course, jacks 10s is calling reshove anyway, but you shouldn't mind playing post-up here. And even though if it's slightly minus EV, but if you scoop a huge pot and you double up and you're back to 13, 14 million, and this guy then has 16 million, you kind of even, and then you can also start running over the table, especially when there's 7-8 players left. The future game is so huge, and it's totally okay also to put yourself in a slightly minus EV situation to win it. And then I think even ace queen is probably raise folding here. It should be raise folding against your reshoving range.
What sizing are you making it, like 1.5 mil?
Yeah, 1.4.
Okay.
And it's also really nice as a bluff. What are you supposed to do with jack 4 suited there? What is he doing with king 9 off?
Yeah.
You can really work with small sizings here, and I think I think this fold is fine. I like the limp. Yeah, I really like the limp. If you raise and you shove, we have to fold.
Yeah. I think I was most nervous for this shove because I was just like, man, I don't want to go out like this.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I know that feeling. That feeling, but sometimes you just have to do it.
Sometimes you just gotta lose.
Believe me, the feeling of also playing too tight and missing some spots. We don't like it because we already project how we're gonna think afterwards about the final table, and our mind likes to do what it picks up on everything we do wrong. If we made a bluff and we failed, fuck, we're an idiot. If we played too tight and we missed up on spots, we should have played more aggressively. The guy didn't have it. We should have made the bluff. Or if he had it, like earlier with the queen six off, if we would have bet bigger, we should have bet smaller. Thank God we bet smaller but what I like to do is though, if I make a bluff or I misplay a hand or I don't know, let's say I make a play and I bust and it was an aggressive or loose play, I always try to think about this feeling afterwards. I should have made this bluff. I should have played more aggressively. I'm like, well, if I wouldn't have made the bluff and the guy didn't have it and he had a folding hand, I would have hated myself as well for the next two or 3 weeks. So it's really whatever, and you shouldn't try to. I mean, it's very very basic stuff in poker to think so. Results orientated.
Yeah, I had a pretty aggressive ICM punt with 8 left in the PLO8 WCOOP that I won, and I'm still cringing to this day every time I think about the fact that I won that, because it was like I was a 3.4% equity away from being devastated, and just happened to end up winning it. So.
Yeah, I think deuces we can open and get it in against the big blind. Mm-hmm. Especially so far, you didn't really open a single hand from MP. I think you will get massive credit, and now you should slowly try to pick up some chips here and there to build, come back to 10, 11 million. Also keep the other mid stacks on distance.
I think this might be the that last hand. This is the misclick, apparently.
You misclicked?
Yeah, he said in the chat. It felt pretty bad for him.
Of course, yeah.
And X and Go was being a bit of a dick about it. He saying thank you and kind of, being one of those assholes. It's like, come on, man. This was, I really didn't like this hand, but I mean, there's a 6 big blind, a 3 big blind, and a 5 big blind stack, and I was just like, I don't even know if I like.
And to be honest, with these crazy stacks here, I'm not 100% sure this might be a fold. I would call, because again, we can invest 6 million and we're still ahead of 3 other stacks, and we're still going to be fine. And in order to invest 6 million, we have to, we're not going to go broke. So yeah, I'd probably call it. I mean, if he makes it 1.5 million, I don't like his sizing. I think he should just go with ridiculously big sizings. But yeah, against this sizing, we have to call.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I didn't feel comfortable with that, but I just didn't want to.
Well, that happens. I mean, you don't be too harsh to yourself. I did stuff myself, which is ridiculous. I've seen the best players in the world doing ridiculous stuff. So it's whatever. Oh, queen. I'm not so sure about this call here. This guy should be pretty much on 10s plus, ace queen plus. I think this is a fold.
He did tank.
Yeah. I don't think he's shoving ace jack here. I think you shouldn't be shoving ace. I mean, especially with these 2 stacks here. Ace jack suited maybe. Nasty spot. I don't want to be in those spots. And I should definitely also study more these extreme short stack spots. That's why I try to punt as hard as possible, so at least not getting into those very short stack spots. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think at least complete. Yeah, I think we can at least complete. We invest 150k. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I think my range would also be 10s plus here in his shoes, maybe 9s plus.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if that would end up being an HRC approved shove.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, he only really has to fear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's effectively jamming from high. I mean, if he gets it in against these two guys, it's whatever. So yeah, he's effectively jamming from the low jack. I think 10s, 9 big blinds, whatever.
Seems fair. I did like that when he was talking shit, he didn't even out louder the guy that misclicked, so that made me happy.
Yeah, I think queen high. This guy will be open a ton of hands. I think it's fine.
Run the numbers. It's finally opening up here. Yeah, now it's a really interesting spot because I've got like 11 million, and then there's like 3 people that are 380 short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're slowly getting shorter and shorter. Yeah. Now at least people start reshoving a little more.
This seemed really bad.
Yeah.
But I went with I don't know. Like with Chen, I felt like he was pretty nitty. So I just ended up just like I didn't want to 3-bet call was my thought process. It was the same thought process with the queens at that point. Just because I kind of felt like LFT could like 4-bet me and I just wouldn't be happy about it a lot of the time.
With kings, bro, I would smash my
Yeah.
mouse. I'm so pumped that if he 4-bets.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, this is
the thing is, of course, it sucks. Let's say you've called you 3-bet, he called 4-bets, ace queen suited, or ace queen or ace jack suited. Because I mean, you could 3-bet to get it in against him and fold against big blind. So he definitely generates a ton of fold ingredients to 3-bet, and he has been playing great aggressive, so he's definitely capable of doing it. So with kings, I definitely also if he has a hand like nines, tens. Against a shove, he might be folding it. So you're putting yourself in an extremely good situation to double up. But by shoving, I think he would just fold tens or nines. I mean, if he's somewhat aware, this guy has been extremely nitty. You reshove 25 bigs against a nitty player. You'll probably be doing it with eights plus or an ace queen plus. And I just think that he will not be calling it off with nines or tens. However, if you 3-bet, it becomes a completely different situation.
yeah.
And also this guy, right? He has hands like king, queen suited and queen, jack suited. And he might be very cautious and doesn't want to invest his 6 million here with pocket sevens or eights, but might be peeling your 3-bet. So I think they're only merits. I mean, of course, if someone if team 4-bet jams ace queen suited and sucks you all, you're like, I should have just jammed. But this will happen. But I think in the long run, it just makes you so many more chips by 3-betting here.
Yeah. I agree.
Also, if you don't agree, we can talk about it. I'm open to discuss.
I definitely. I think at that king's point, I was kind of just like, it probably won't be the most profitable hand, but at least I have a higher chance of laddering.
Yeah.
I feel like ace king a little different in the spot at least.
Yeah. Still, I would slightly prefer, even though here I'm not 100% sure. It might be better just to shove in this ICM situation. But yeah, ace king suited, I think it's just.
Yeah, I think it's for like 36 bigs. So
Yeah.
35
But
and a half.
again, if you're not that sure in ICM spot, just reshove. You're always going to be. We should at least open this hand. Or limp.
Yeah.
Open or limp. I mean, if you limp 9-8 suited, you can certainly limp this hand. I like that you wanted to incorporate a limping strategy, so yeah. Yeah, good call. We check call. We always check call turn. River, I think we can value bet. He definitely can. We are ahead against ace deuce, ace 4. That I'm not 100% sure if he's betting those. He might be betting his strongest king X, king queen, queen jack. He might have picked up the 9. He puts you on all the flush draws and king jack. So yeah, I'm probably betting $1 million here. Check is not horrible though either. Interesting turn check. This is very, very interesting. So I think this is from now on. This should have given you an indicator that he's not going completely banana post flop. So you can still defend pre-flop reasonably wide because he's not going too crazy. I mean, it's a reasonable second barrel hand against your king jacks, king tens, fold equity against queen x. Yeah, I think especially when you perceive him, this is the perfect stack size to then just 4-bet jam on him.
Yeah.
So far, I think once or twice he attacked your limbs, but you don't necessarily need to have those strong hands in your limping range, especially against players that are so passive. You have to understand the value from limping comes when you play aggressively against your limbs. But if you have only one player, and this guy probably not even shoving sevens on you, or he's probably not even shoving ace queen raise jack on you, or raising, or doing anything, and he's just limping everything behind. And let's not talk about having a bluffing range, because the EV heavily comes from him making bluff, or raising with bluffs, and then we can shove and collect additional dead money. Yep.
With the ace king, if I open and LFT just rips it for 42 bigs, whatever, just shoves breed, I think it's a fold?
Probably yes. But I think that's never going to happen. The hands he could do it with, pairs, are just calling, play post flop. I have never seen someone rejamming here for 40 bigs. I think once I have had it. Once. And then we just fold. I mean, it's mostly pairs.
Well, otherwise it's fold.
What happened here post flop? I like the bet.
Like a stabbed and just got it through.
Easy fold. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would try to raise those hands and then play post flop.
Felt like it was a pretty good turn, especially with my
Yeah,
check back
I don't
range.
mind the
I
bet
just have
against
to
his
commit
range.
them.
He would just have so much crap. So
I don't think anyone ever called all in 76's shoves. You just got so many through.
yeah. I mean, you're third in chips, ace queen. He has a bunch of shit. I really don't mind raising, getting it in. I mean, we just call down. If he shoves river, it's gonna get.
It's pretty pukey, yeah, if he does. Fortunately, he doesn't.
Interesting.
What do you think about his turn bet?
I like it. I like it in a chip EV situation. I know it's an ISO raise pot, right? You didn't raise, so you have all the queen X. No, if let's say you raise, he calls, you check flop. You also represent a bunch of pocket eights. So if he has ace eight, we're ahead against all the weaker 8x, and we're ahead against all 7x, and yeah, I don't mind it. But here I think it's a little bit of an overplay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the flop bet is fine. Turn is an easy check, and it's also a great bluff catcher against all the 10-9s, jack 10s, jack 9s, king jacks, not blocking any jack 10-9. So it plays. It's pretty much a no-brainer how you're gonna play the rivers. You're gonna fold on any 9-10 jack if the guy bets into you, and you just bluff catch everything else.
Yep.
And if it goes check check, you consider value betting small. You just check back. Yeah, or standard.
I think the chip, the pot
something
that
happened here,
versus,
right?
Yeah, versus Chen and LFT. Yeah, this was important because then I realized that like he's not always c betting his top pairs. Yeah, just a little bit forward. Yeah, so the hand before, yeah. Yeah, this one right here. This is where I found out he's like not always c betting top pair.
This is a reasonable check back for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it's all right.
Yeah, so that's what made me like when he checked back flop. I was like, all right, well, maybe it's not just like automatically going to be weakness.
Yeah.
He's not just seeing top pair and just immediately barrels. So
yeah, I like the way he played the hand.
Yeah, he went deep into the tank with that one too. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, I think you can now start raising more hands because, yeah, I really like it. I really love it. This guy now
he's
it's
not 32 million.
Don't really mind second barreling here. It looks at first, oh, why should we second barrel, right? But our hand now, just so much equity against, even against a hand like ace 3 suited, we got so much equity. We have 5 outs to a 2 pair of trips and the flush draw. So we're betting here with, depending what he calls with, 30 to 35% equity if called. Also, we generate fold equity against a hand like 9x, against pocket 8s, against pocket 10s eventually, which protect us if he has king jack clubs, king 10 clubs, to get bluffed from these hands on the river. So I really, really would like to see a bet here. It's definitely not a must bet, but I think mixing it in some of these pairs plus flush draw, and also you charge a hand like king 5 diamonds. If it goes check check, we check back the river. You charge a hand like king 10, 10 8 in diamonds.
Yeah, I think one of the main reasons why I like betting on the turn as well is like, sure, maybe it seems like we would have showdown value with the 7, but like this is a pretty reasonable sizing. If we had showdown value, we'd probably have to send him calling. I just don't think that this is.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we hate our lives if we bet and he raises turn. It's like, all right, you know, if he gets really out of line, I don't think we hate our lives as much. It's not like we have like a hand that we really wanted to realize our equity with.
Nice open race. Very nice open race with the queen 9 off. I like it that you're now loosening up. I think that's.
Yeah, we can play some hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can try to steer. This guy just is basically dead money here, the way he had played so far. His small line. This guy is probably not reshoving as much as he should. Easy fold. This one is close. He did definitely open shaft several times here already.
Yeah, he's been open shoving a lot. I mean, how many bigs is that? That's
15?
Not very good to play.
16, 17?
Yeah, this one felt really borderline.
Yeah, I'm probably going with it. I think ace king, ace queen might be inducing quite often. I mean, he's the short stick now. He can induce. He wants people. He needs to double up, right? So his ICM. What I want to say by that, in very easy words, that his risk premium isn't that high anymore. Let's say if there's another 6 million stack, it changes everything completely, because by just getting one jam through, he's not the short stick anymore, and he's not in a frustrated situation. I mean, he's not in a frustrated situation either, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a completely different situation. I would really love to see some raising with ace king suited, ace queen suited, and he has all the king 10 suited and queen 10 suited and king queens and jack 10 suited and ace 9 suited and even ace 8 offs, and yeah. Did you know what he open shoved here, or what he was open shoving all the time?
No, I actually haven't gotten around to watching the replay to see a lot of the hands. I can actually I'll probably look it up later.
I mean, he open shoved several times with 15, 20 bigs. If it happens for the first time, I'm folding as well. But I also wouldn't mind mixing in here a bluff through it, by the way, with these off-suited aces. Mm-hmm. Because so far you haven't really.
I don't think I've ever really three bet, except for the 3 times I three bet shove queens and kings.
Yeah.
I think. Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
What happened
you're gonna want to watch. This is a fun one.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, when I saw him shove and then LFC tank call, I'm like, oh boy, and then I was like, holy shit, what a punt.
He tank called with ace deuce?
Well, I mean, he didn't snap call. He took maybe 10 seconds.
Okay, interesting.
I think it was more of like a shock. It's like, holy shit, what are you shoving?
Interesting shove here.
It's just like, maybe it was just like
I don't think against this sizing we should be shoving. Yeah, I don't think we should be shoving our queen 10 and diamonds here.
I was thankful. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting one.
Yeah. Well, I would be grateful either.
I didn't realize we played 70 hands. 3 hand. Didn't feel like it. I think at a certain point, there is deal negotiations. They fall through, and then there's deal negotiations again where we get an actual admin.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should start calling here with this hand. I mean, he just open shoved so many hands, and we can be 100% sure now that he open shoves any pair some of the ace-x. He's open shove. He's probably, and then additionally, he's probably raising aces, kings, queens, jacks, tens very often, even nines.
Yeah.
So you just 100% of the time you have deuces to fives. You're flipping against Broadways and ace-x, but since all the pairs are in his range as well, you just get too good equity. I mean,
Let's like these two suited.
yeah. I mean, especially now, I don't know, the fifth or sixth open shove with his 20 bigs. I mean, even more probably. I don't know. It's just, I wouldn't give him any order because it just makes the result much better. Let's give him some of these. Let's start with nines though. Some of these Broadways here. Something like this. Maybe ace 9, ace 10 suited. 6-6. Yeah, we have 55% equity. And the thing though is that our risk premium against him isn't that high because we're still going to be in the tournament. And he could even have more of these aces. I think that's at least what he's going to have very often. And I only give him 10 combos of suited aces we dominate. All the others we're flipping against, and then the pairs. And if we make it a little bit more optimistic, maybe some more of these hands, I just go up to almost 57%. Yeah, I think fives I would be folding. I think sixes I would be start calling. Also, the thing is, actually, that's very, very interesting. When you're in those situations, you're not sure whether to call or fold. If you're in this quote-unquote ICM prison and you can't really play that many hands because the other stack is a short stack, you really benefit of calling it off and knocking him out because that releases you from that ICM prison. Otherwise, now the future game speaks against you because you can't do that much, right? So you have the biggest incentive that this guy's quote unquote fucks off and busts, right?
I guess I've always had the opposite mindset where I'd be like, the marginal spots I'd rather just fold and then maybe wait for a better spot or something like that, right? So I kind of viewed it in a different light.
Yeah. Yeah, mixing in some 3-bets with queen 4 off here small, I think the guy would just be opening 60-70%. You can make it really dependent on the dynamics. His pre-flop reshove is, by the way, horrible. He should just 3-bet to 4 million. It will cost him so much EV and ROI. Every single time this guy wakes up, and then king queen, you have like 15% equity against his range.
I think it was like shortly after this there was a deal negotiation. We just clicked the deal button and we just sat there for 5 minutes.
Okay.
It was
actually I don't mind the open raise here with king 5 off. I really like it. It's just unlucky that he had a hand. I think he will generate a lot of fold equity pre-flop, and you can definitely mix it in. I see it now. It's getting very aggressive. So I think the deal went through, right?
No, I'm trying to think. It's shortly. No, it hadn't gone through. This is actually an interesting hand. But no, it hasn't gone through yet. The first to teal them folded, but it's check call pretty.
I mean, you have queen jacks or like all the jack X and diamond you call the flop with, like ace jack, queen jack. You have king jack, all within diamond. You have tons of flushes. You have 2 pairs. You might consider catch. So here the 1 pair, so you just don't even need.
I think I was prepared to rumble on like non-10, non-jack, non-diamond.
Yeah.
Where
which I don't mind. This guy just also got a little crazy.
Shouldn't be too far off from the deal, I think.
Wow. I mean, what is this guy doing? What is he waiting for? bluffing with. That's an interesting read. You should also be incentivized to raise more hands from the button instead of limping if the guy plays so passive. Those reads are very, very important to determine which strategy to play. And this is a very good example of when whoever asks me, Ben, how do I should play in this spot? How should I do play in this spot? And I respond, depends. It depends on these kind of factors. If this guy is not capable of bluffing with this hand here, then and is so passive, we want to play as many single raise pot against him because we over realize our equity, and we're gonna win. I mean, you're gonna be in shit spot if he bombs the turn and bombs the river, and you probably end up folding, right?
Yeah, we realistically shouldn't have won the spot.
Yeah, exactly. And you start winning pots which you're not supposed to win, and you end up being in a game tree, and this game tree is winning the hand, or even seeing a river. I mean, probably even if you have ace 10, or let's say if you have ace 3 and a give up, you're suddenly on the river, which you're not supposed to because he's supposed to bluff his hand, and you even see a free river, and you over realize your equity. So then he deviates from a strategy that he should play completely different. And that is so important, and that's why always, if you play a lot of tables, that's really important to pick up on players, and then based on that you should adjust your strategy.
Yeah, with here I was wondering, with 6 with a club might be better to check back, but I felt like 6 without a club. And now that I felt like the Queen 7 hand too, I know he's not.
Yeah. I against someone that is super passive and not raising. Same should be here. If he has Jack 9 or Jack 7 in spades, which would be a good hand to bluff raise with, he's probably just check calling. Also his flush draws. If he has ace 4 in clubs, which he might be on a raising with. I'm not saying that in theory it's a raise because he also ICM comes into play, and definitely need to take a look into solver tool. But let's assume he has certain raising hands that are somewhat doesn't feel natural. Even a hand like ace 9 with ace in clubs would be a decent hand to bluff raise with. But I don't think he ever does these kind of raisings, right? King 5 off is a call here against a very wide button range.
That was pretty neat. That was a mistake.
Yeah, 8s, I don't mind open shoving. Also depends on the big blind. So far he has attacked your limbs quite often, so I would slightly have preferred a limb shove, but just a small thing.
Yeah, I think deal negotiation is like just after this hand, I think.
Okay.
Like 2 hands away. Yeah, I kind of felt like with how passive he was, I felt like it'd be a good spot.
Okay, then in theory it's just a punt, but now you can see how easily a punt can becomes a genius play of the guy. If you see he snap checks and you already feel he's on a give up and he's passive, and I would probably also bet any river apart from a heart, because he very often has like ace king, ace queen and heart with a heart, or a low pocket pair with a heart, and also with sizings we just bet half pot on the river. We don't even need to shove. Leave us with 4 or 5 big blinds. Yeah, nice check.
Yeah, I feel like that the 7-8.
It's all right.
Should have limped.
It's all right.
Fine. Yeah.
You can also raise these kind of hands here, especially with your.
But the post flop, the flop, I kind of felt like maybe I should be stabbing that because I kind of get denied off my backdoor straight, backdoor flushes.
It's interesting that you defend Queen 7 off, but you fold King 5 off.
Yeah, I think the King 5 off is just definitely a mistake.
It's of course these kind of inconsistent plays. They always happen on final tables, and they will happen to everybody because you've played for 10 hours, and now we sit here all fresh and all, what they were up to, and we're all pros and we see everything. It's so easy to talk about that shit, but when you're there in game, it's a completely different story. Also 5-3 we can defend. So I think you can, especially now when you're shorter, you just realize so much better your equity.
Yeah, I think by now the deal actually has gone through, and we're all guaranteed 100K. He's guaranteed 122, and we're playing for 20K.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely locked in by now.
Which is
I decided to go a lot larger because like all of his like heart draw combos, any backdoor spades, like he's gonna have like a ton of like gut shot combos, even open enders.
You don't mind peeling him with backdoor spades?
No, I'm saying like he's got a lot that's still just always gonna float. So if he's gonna have a lot of like floating combos, just giving him a little bit more of a a worse price, but but we still expect him to call.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I think I'm pretty sure he punted really hard here.
who?
The big all
Oh
in
wow,
blasted super hard.
wow, wow! What the fuck? I mean, he blocks all the I mean, he's a recreation player. We're not gonna blame him. We're happy that
Yeah,
these mistakes happen. But you can see even. I mean, you were still playing for 20K in the heads up, right?
yeah,
So there's still some money at stake.
yeah. He subbed to me right after he busted too, and I thought that was funny. He subscribed to the stream.
That's
All right,
cool.
well, good to know he was watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just going to be shove forward here very often. I like the Jack 7 limp. Can bet small the turn. You can also just shove. We should definitely value bet the river.
Yeah, I think that was. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely think that was accurate.
Nice limp.
I guess I just wasn't thinking.
We have enough forward equity on the turn. I think showdown. Sorry, enough showdown value.
Yeah, nice river.
This is a call for 12 bigs.
Yeah, I guess it's borderline-ish. I was kind of going off. This is where I guess it's kind of a little Jack Stack 99. I was kind of treating this guy like he'd be a fish heads up.
Okay.
But yeah, I think this is probably like Chippy V, but
I mean, you're
Jack
playing Chippy V now, because
yeah, I was kind of going off what I've been sort of taught with on heads up at these stacked ups.
and that was the very last hand. Wow, I didn't expect that we're gonna go through the final table that quick, but it was definitely very interesting to see, very interesting to watch. Any questions, comments you want to drop before we're gonna wrap it up?
No, it was definitely very very interesting, very fun to play. It's quite humbling to be able to, just fire the Sunday Million.
Yeah,
and all
man.
Of a sudden,
Yeah.
hey,
You actually don't expect to end up being you just here take my 200 Sunday millionaires every week.
I mean, I was joking when we were like 27 left. I'm just trying to get 10th here. We're just gonna get 10th, and we're okay with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely to be in that position where you're playing for such a large amount of money for such a low buy-in. It's just a lower buy-in, I guess. It's still a pretty big buy-in. It's just pretty surreal. It was definitely an experience that, like, in the moment, I'm realizing like I probably won't be final tabling the Sunday Million anytime soon. So
yeah. So for those of you who are not familiar with you, you're also twitching on a regular basis on Twitch. Where can people find you? We're also going to put your link in the description. So if you want to check him out, we're gonna put the Instagram, your Instagram, your Twitch. We're gonna put in the descriptions. Your stream. When are you usually streaming? Which time zone? Around which time are you streaming?
I'm pretty Australian / New Zealand friendly, I guess.
Okay.
I guess Europe. I'm probably one of the Europe mornings is usually when I'm streaming. Yeah, if you guys want to find me, twitch.tv/IREgption. Good luck spelling that just from hearing it. So you'll probably have to look at the links. But yeah, I'm streaming the mid stakes to high stakes grind.
Awesome.
Well, not high stakes, but like up to
we will see you soon there, very very soon, man. Yeah. I think you played the final table pretty well. Next time, you can play it a little more aggressive, but I mean, afterwards we all know better, right? Ben is all the wise guy making these advices. Play more aggressively. It would have been so easy, No, but seriously, I think you played it very very nice. And
thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely going to see you very soon on one of the bigger final tables. I'm pretty sure about that. And then good luck. So in case you're going to work soon and you're from, or let's say early in the mornings, and you wanna watch a little bit of poker, check him out. He's streaming early mornings in Europe. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Thanks for providing the hand history. Thanks for your time. I think I speak in the name of the entire community. Thank you so much. And then See you wherever
Thanks as
we
well.
want to see each other. All right.
Thank you as well. Yeah.
Bye bye. Ciao.